right, Shalom. I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Wahawa Kakwadash. I want to say double honor to the apostles and the elders at Great Millstone for teaching this word in truth and sincerity and for ruling well. And salutations to my fellow Akim across the four quarters of the globe, preaching in the name of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. And it's the brother Gabar Yahweh from GMS Hawaii with another quick, in transit. And it's entitled, These Other Groups Are Reservoir Dogs, man. And that's a term that comes from, well, I got it from the movie. And basically, a group of individuals try to take a heist. And what they end up doing, they realize one of them set them all up to get taken down. And basically, they were trapped. And they were trying to figure out who was the one that set them up. And in the end, they all killed themselves, man. So the term for Reservoir Dogs is basically like a bunch of thieves, individuals who not right, who basically eat themselves, man. And that's what you're starting to see right now. And where you start to see that most prevalent right now? Well, that black conscious community. You got No Light. He's all caught up in a so-called sex scandal. And then you got basically Jake been waking up to that whole so-called black conscious movement, and how it wasn't set up to help Jake. It was set up to destroy Jake. And when I was watching this video, I watched this video clip that was sent on a message board of Saanetta explaining the whole deal about the black conscious community, and it is exactly what the apostles and elders been telling us since forever, man. And I've definitely been hearing it since I've been in the truth. I ain't been in the truth forever, just a small amount of time. But they used to always tell you, especially when it was a time when the black conscious community was really coming up against the apostles and the elders and the brothers on down, the prophets of the Lord, man. They were coming up, they were coming up against it. And so they could see that, it can make them money. So they would pick up these random other Israelite groups that wasn't really telling you the truth, but they was all about their pocket too. So they'll go to these meetings like you get ISUPK. They'll go to these different debates, and you would think that they were setting these debates up so they can convert people, but they weren't. They were just there for the money, man. It was all about the money. And so what proved that today was what Saanetta said. Now, I don't got the video in front of me right now because I'm using my phone to record, but Lord willing, I'll do a proper sit down and I'll bring it out, man. And you'll hear this dude explain. He said that they don't like each other. The black conscious community they don't care. They're not for each other. It's all about the money. He said that, and the nigga was about to cut apart in his head, trying to look like Big Brother Almighty and shit. Because that's what what's this dude named Saanetta? That's what he is amongst that whole black unconscious community, man. All of those cast of characters, they're led by him through his portal, his demon portal called Saanetta Studios, man. And in Saanetta, he's good at baiting people. He's like the what do you call it? What's that nigga name with the crazy hair and boxing? Don King. He's the Don King of the black unconscious community. And if anybody knows Don King, you know that nigga was a serpent. He's a snake, and he's not to be trusted, man. And everybody he's ever had underneath of him, he screwed over, man. And he did it all because of the mighty dollar. He believes in America. He try to act like he doesn't, but he believes 100% in this whole America, this whole everything that's going on, man. And he tries to sensationalize different movements. And when one movement stopped making money, he click over to the next. Like that black unconscious community lost life like 3-4 years ago. And really what was keeping that whole black unconscious community pumping was the fact that he kept mentioning Israel, man. And so as you see, Yahweh Ba'ashem Shai is taking these different groups down. And that's going to happen to these wayward and wicked Israelite groups too. Okay? There's a scripture that says, the love of money is the root of all evil. It's not money is a defense, but the love of it. It says you cannot have two masters, for you will love the one, you will cling to one, and you would hate the other. Okay, that's what it said. And then you can't, you got these pastors and these preachers talking about they love God and all this other crap. But really, they don't love the Most High. They don't care about the Most High. They love money. Money is their motivator. Why? Because it enriches them. Okay, it gives them prestige amongst the community. It gives them, and the true prophets, they're not seeking after money. The true prophets, the true apostles, they're not asking for your money. As Scripture says, freely you give, freely have you received, freely you give. It also says, buy the truth and sell it not. How do you buy the truth? With your body, with yourself. You make yourself a living sacrifice for Yahweh Shem Yahushai. And that's what the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone has showed us. And the brothers on down that showed us to do what? To do the same. When we go out there, we don't have no change handout. We ain't asking nobody for money now. If people give, then the body Yahweh Shem Yahushai. The thanks and the praise go to Shem Yahushai. Salaki about that. I had a dead spot. But again, as you see what's going on now, whether it's these wayward Israelite groups, these Israelite groups that's perpetrating a fraud, acting like they're giving you the truth, but really they're not. They're feeding their own bellies. Or whether it's this black conscious community, none of those things are set up to do you any good. The only thing that's set up to do you good are those that are given the truth. That's why the Lord said in Jeremiah 3, I think it's 3 and 15, where it says what? It says, well, I will send you pastors after my own heart, and they shall feed you with knowledge and wisdom and understanding. And you're not going to find no knowledge and wisdom and understanding in that whole black unconscious community, because the Most High, Yahweh Shem Yahushai, is not with that. He's not with it. Because what are they telling you in a black unconscious community? That you're African. They propping up Egypt. They propping up the black woman. They women worshiping. Okay, they're pandering to your base emotions. Okay, your greed, your need to be accepted. All those emotional traits that you don't need to be dwelling on. Right? Your false anger. And then you notice that nigga, he jumped just like Don King. He jumped at everybody, man. And then he'll fight with them. He'll cuss them out, and then they'll come right back. Like I saw a clip of this dude, Nigga, which I don't really watch the black unconscious community at all. I might see a clip here and there, whether it be sent to us or just floating around. But I don't look this dude up because I already knew that there's no life in black. Black means death. Okay? To be black, to deem yourself black, to roll around in a black mat of confusion, which that whole Afrocentric shit, that's what that shit is all about. Because that shit ain't helping our people. That's not helping us individually. As out of that shit. So Kenny was like, wait a minute, we ain't control this dude, let's get him up out of here. Because he gonna take away our money. Which is, the money is in the people. Right? Just like J. Edgar Hoover said, he claimed that if they're gonna have another leader, we gonna create him. I think if they're gonna have a black messiah, we gonna create him. You know? So anybody that's in this system call themselves liberating you through knowledge and understanding, but they're not putting Yahweh Shem Yahushai in it, hey, you gotta question that man. You gotta question that man, because this man, first of all, we're not gonna be liberated by an individual that grow up in this world like us, like meaning like a side nigga, a Malcolm X, a Martin Luther King, which all them niggas were tapped in. You know? So you see these different organizations, how they're not set up. The Lord said again, I will send you pastors. And he did that. He gave us Abba Bivens, King Marsha, Elder Yaquab, High Priest Ariyah, Apostle Tahar, Apostle Gabar, Apostle Akar, Apostle Ramla. These are men that are set up to give you the truth. And brothers on down that he set up, that learned, that heard, that believed on Yahweh Shem Yahushai through their word. Right? And that's what that's about. Okay? We weren't set up to we weren't set up to make any type of permanent rest here in America. America is not a place of permanent rest, but that's what these other organizations and even these other Israelite groups, you know, you can name them, just name them. Right? Like IUIC, ISUPK, these people, they're trying to get you to build something permanent for yourself here in America, all the while juicing you, while taking the taking your money, taking your time, taking your human resource. That's what they do. That's exactly what they do. Right? But now, it's gonna come. Now you're starting to witness who the true men of the Lord are. Those that were telling you the truth, exactly what's happening. And only a prophet of the Lord could do that. They told us that, hey, them black conscious, unconscious community, they're gonna turn into reservoir dogs. They're gonna eat each other. Watch how when that shit ain't making no money, side nigga gonna flip to this. Watch that whole brother polite bullshit, which some brothers saw it coming through the spirit, because they did what? They slandered us, and the scripture says, by thy own mouth it is not me that judgeth you, but thy own mouth condemns thee. Roughly paraphrasing, man. Right? They claimed that we were the child rapists and all this other crazy shit. Slandered us, and every man of great millstone had to suffer that, especially the apostles and the elders, because they were plastering their clips of a video that was taken. That Sa nigga was out there, he was taping it, and you had the apostles, they took it, so we knew what the whole context of that whole conversation was. But nonetheless, not only did the so-called black unconscious community run with that, but then you had a polite, he threatened to get Crips and Bloods on us. You know, he tried to slander us. He did slander. He did slander us. Then, on top of that, other Israelite groups like ISUPK, IUIC, they took it and they ran with it. You know, to try to get this, heap up disciples unto themselves, to try to defame and try to slander the word of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. But now look at them. And like I said, when you watch that, if you get to see that clip, Lord, why don't I do a quicker video on it, a proper video on it at the house? You know, when I'm not in transit, when you see these dudes, when you see Sa nigga, man, he just straight up said it. Like, look, man, it's all about the money with these niggas, man. It's all about the money. The nigga said it didn't out of the clear blue, a demon jumped on this nigga to just make a part in his head. He's all about vanity. That whole shit is all about vanity. Men building themselves up who love to feed them their own bellies with but they don't care about the people. They don't care about the flock. Hirelings, man. You got that amongst Israel, man. A shit ton of hirelings, dudes that either wasn't good workers in the past and they either fell out or left for whatever reason, and then they seen this Israelite thing bubbling back up and they come running back in through the back door acting like they never left, trying to call themselves breaking the scriptures down, and then they even try to bring it up to you, but they left us for dead, man. A lot of them dudes from the 90s, late 80s or whatever, the 90s, early 2000s, and the 99, they left Jake for dead. Straight up. You hear stories about how some of these guys was like, Yahushua ain't coming back in 2000s. Man, that's messed up. And then they just leave and walk out the door like they was never a part of this thing. Because really they weren't. The scripture says they went from among us because they were not of us, man. Because if they were of us, they would have continued with us, man. And we have examples of men continuing, the apostles, the elders, the elder bishops, brothers continuing on. Well, when this thing was popping, when this thing wasn't popping. And now this thing is bubbling back because Yahweh Shem Yahushai is drawing that line in the sand, showing you who are his chosen, man. When you read 2nd Esdras chapter 16, verse 70 on down, the scripture says, what then shall be known who are my chosen, man? Because the Most High is going to be with us, man. Yahweh Shem Yahushai is going to be with us, man. He knew a lot of them dudes in the past, they didn't have it in them because he didn't give it to them. But yet, they would be raised up in the future. Young, older men that real truth. Well, the scripture says, then shall, there's going to come a time where, was it St. John chapter 4, verse 20 on down, where the Lord was speaking to that woman at the well. And he told her, like, look, it's going to come a time where the true worshipers are going to worship Yahweh Shem Yahushai, because the Most High look for them that do it in truth and spirit, man. Would you realize that when you take an honest observation of these other groups out there, whether they call themselves Israelites or whether they call themselves leaders or something else, you can tell that they're not what is the word? There's a word for it. They're not sincere. Salakia. Yeah, they're not sincere. And so you can tell, and all you got to do is sit back. But if you be taken by their smooth words and their rhetoric, then you just done. Because that whole black unconscious community shit, it's really about women worship at the end of the day. Women worship in vanity. They worship Egypt. That Egypt was all about vanity. Just like a spiritual Sodom and Egypt is all about vanity. You know? They talk all that black conscious, back to Africa bullshit, but none of these niggas will go. And look, a couple years ago, Africa was giving motherfuckers free passports and shit, free citizenship for the year of return. I think it was like 2019. So like 2 years ago, there was a year of return. They was letting niggas just come to Africa and move and become entrepreneurs. And you know, you can move there with your dashiki on, all that shit. You can get your Africa on, all that. But niggas know ain't no life in Africa, man. Ain't no real life in Africa. I don't care what they try to tell you, how they try to spin it. Africa is not our home. And our people have a disconnect with that place, man. Right? Just like America is not our home. But the ones that truly understand and know this are the elect of Israel, man. Because our home is in Israel. As the scripture says in Galatians 4:26. It says what? It says for Jerusalem, what is it? For Jerusalem is free above all free, and the mother of us all. Roughly paraphrasing, man. Because that's where we're from. We're from Israel. We're not from Africa. We ain't from America. You got Israelites that want to stay in America. You got Judites, so-called African Americans, talking about, oh yeah, the Native Indians, they ain't our people. They ain't the real. They weren't here. You got niggas actually saying that slavery didn't happen. What the fuck? You know what I'm saying? Just how low of a vibration that our people are in this world, man. So they're taken by any wind of doctrine. They toss to and fro. Toss to and fro. You can't be like that in its truth. You got to be grounded. You got to be solid. You got to be planted on good ground, man. And black unconscious community, that is not good ground. That ain't even ground. That's worse than sand. You're not even planted. You just a seed just hanging there ready to die and dry in the sun, man. Okay? So again, now you starting to see you starting to see the whole black unconscious community unravel. Some of these dudes, these characters that they had, especially like in the beginning when I first heard about this shit, they gone. So, what's that nigga named Shaka Utmost? That nigga had a straight up Egyptian demon on him, several of them. Nigga, you would have thought this nigga was Ra himself, man. The way he was carrying himself, walking around here with a ponytail on the side of his head and makeup on his face. A lot of those older black African unconscious niggas that used to listen to like John Howard Clark, the big lip nigga, Benjamin something, Brother Benji. All them niggas are dead. And niggas died terribly. And not knowing the truth. They know the truth now. They know that they're Israelites now. All that black women is God and women worship bullshit, that shit ain't helping Jake. Polite, for all intents and purposes. What did he do to his black goddess, man? Apparently, allegedly, this nigga took her up to the hotel and tried to have his way with her. You know what I mean? Come on. Malachi York, the nigga serving a $1.35 in ADAX, one of the toughest prisons, the most impenetrable prisons in America, man. That's nigga at. So you see that when things get hot amongst these people, they start jumping ship. They're like rats, man. When a fire come, they start jumping the ship. They start trying to flee. You know, they going every which way. You know what I'm saying? And that's what's going to happen to these wicked Israelite groups, man. We named a couple of them earlier, man. And anybody that ain't right, man, you got to be right in this truth, man. Okay, you gotta really be in this thing in truth and in sincerity, man. If you're not, it's gonna be shown against you. Eventually, it's gonna be shown. If some brothers don't see it, the elders will see it, the apostles will see it, other brothers might see it. The people gonna see it. You're gonna know who are the Lord's chosen, man. On top of the fact, when this thing go down, because we're fastly approaching Jacob's trouble, as we see it. Like Elder Apostle, Elder Bishop Elder Tizayawan, he was doing a video on it. I was watching it before I did this lesson. You know, he was saying like, look, man, this thing gonna go down any minute, man, because the way these draconian laws that are being set up against the people to take the stab and jab, all of that, it's gonna make people lose their mind. You got people losing jobs because they're against it. You know what I mean? Can't feed their families. So these people about to start really losing their shit out here, man. People about to start really flipping the lid, man. Especially here in America. You know, it's supposed to be the bastion of freedom and all that other bullshit. But you starting to see it ain't so free no more. And even these Edomites were saying that they were going to give you your summer. This is going to be the last summer that you were going to get. So enjoy it. Because you ain't getting another summer. All of that, all the concerts and shit, they popping up out of nowhere. Hey, 444, Rakatayah Bashman Shai. Mercy. You know, all the concerts and shit, all the accessibility to shit. Some of these states, they turning against the federal government. They're not trying to roll with the mandate because they know that shit is fucking up their economy, which they're doing this on purpose. They're doing all this on purpose, even to overinflating that dollar, printing up so much money and dollars. You know, they're doing it on purpose because they want to get rid of the dollar, man, and bring in the real instrument, man, that chip, the mark of the beast, the MOTB, man. That's what they want to bring in. That's their crown jewel. How they can enslave everybody, not just the Israelites, but everybody, and do away with the Israelites and a great portion of the population, because they think that the strength is in numbers, but it's not. The strength is in Yahweh Bash and Yahweh Shai. So you see all of these things happening on top of the fact you're seeing all of these pseudo groups that were popping up, falling apart, man, falling to shit. I think like Polite might have been one of the last big money makers for the black unconscious community, man. You know, that nigga was then robbed and stole and lied and cheated his way to get those little earnings. That's why in his video he was saying that one video that he did, that he claimed he was going to talk about the situation, all he kept talking about was he got everything he wanted. He got all the cars, all the clothes, all the women. He got all of that shit that he wanted. Well, what happens when you get all the things you want? Now it's time to go down, man. This is America. You don't stay up and just stay up perpetually. You got to really be tapped in with Esau, and you got to do a lot of wicked shit. If you're not doing that, guess what? You're done. If you're not serving Esau a greater purpose, you're done. That black conscious bullshit, it served its purpose. And now it's over. It's over. I don't even understand why a nigga even tap into that nigga, and you can just see the type of nigga he is, man. Just look at him. Just look at him and hear his rhetoric, man, for about 2 minutes, man. And not even that. And then you want to get away from Frankie, man. He try to bait you in with these smooth words. Oh, man, you know, I learned everything I learned from GMS. Wait a minute, man. I remember the times you actually pulled up on the camp, cuss brothers out, talk shit against Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, blaspheme the name, all of that. Then these other groups like ISBK allow your ass to come to the Passover and eat unworthily. You know what I mean? Hey, he got a lot to pay for it, man. So it just shows you how these wayward organizations, these wayward so-called organizations, these unconscious movements, you got sincere brothers around. You know, I'm not saying that it's not sincere people that just sincerely lost. There's a such thing as being sincerely lost, man. You might be doing it for, like that nigga Malcolm X, man. He was sincerely lost, man. He was sincerely lost, and he ended up losing his life behind that shit, man. Tapped into Esau's society, you know, tapped into the innocence, leading the people astray. The Most High Yahweh Bashim Shai don't play that shit, man. He don't take that lightly. You might, as a man, you might take that lightly, but Yahweh Bashim Shai does not take that lightly. And as we come to the end of this thing, we're starting to see that the Most High Yahweh Bashim Shai is showing you that these other groups are nothing more than reservoir dogs, and in the end, they'll eat each other. And so with that, we'll say shalom, and on to the next.